side? Okay. Yeah.
Olivier, Ryan Rappaport, Fight Capital. Congratulations, 2023 playoffs, championship, you're back again. As a key figure in the league, can you just talk a little bit about the PFL's format with the seasons and how that structure has benefited the fighters from a training and competition perspective?
Well, the format is surprising. Like last year, I was really surprised how hard it was. And I think a lot of people that come from the UFC, that come from other place, got surprised too. I think we can see this year, in Shane Burgos. I think he got a little bit surprised that, yeah, I want to fight every 2 months, and then you do it. I'm like, oh, maybe not 2 months. So it's hard, and to do it twice, I think do it once is hard. Do it twice is insane. Like I said the last year, like the reason why I did it this year, I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid, but like I finished at 2 months, and then I was going to fight Shane Burgos in 2 other months. There was no break. I went to Mexico for a week. Yeah, cool. It was nice, Like I got some tan, but after that I had to go back in training camp. So it was really, really hard. And this year I changed my training camp for that. I'm not saying I was not hurt a little bit. I got hurt, I think, 2 fights ago. But it was so much better than last year. Last year I was hurt every single fight. I heard that I cannot even spar a week before the fight. So, so it was crazy, to fight every 2-3 months. It's a format that is really, really hard. It's fun though, you feel like you're doing like in a movie when you're a young kid, with Jean-Claude Van Damme, those kind of movie that's a tournament. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Those movies, it's every day. Us, it's 2 months. It's a little bit better. But the format is really, really hard. And that's what I say to everybody. If you're a champion in PFL, doesn't mean you can be a champion in UFC. And if you're a UFC champion, doesn't mean you can be a PFL champion. So it's you have to be smart about that. There's the fights and there's outside of the fights, and I think both of them in PFL are really important.
We've talked about George and how he's been an amazing mentor for you. How has his guidance impacted not only your ability in the ring, but also outside of the ring? And are you taking anything from his entrepreneurial stuff that he's out there doing?
Well, he's bullying me. Freaking guy! I'm telling you, like I won the PFL belt last year, and 2 weeks in, it was like, you're too fat, Olivier. Like you have to no, that's not possible. You have to be more active. I was like, bro, like I fought like all years, and then you're telling me that, like, no, but you have to start again training like right away. And at that point, I didn't know if I was going to do the next year's season, so I was on vacation. But this freaking guy was telling me that I had to come start training again like crazy, So, I mean, he's intense. This guy never stopped training. He's still training every day, and yeah, he's partying, as we can see in his social media. And but he's still training every single day, so it's interesting. And I mean, we are really different person. So for me, it's hard to say, yeah, I'm gonna do what you do. He's crazier than me. I'm a little bit easier. Life is easy, don't worry about that. I joke a lot. You don't always understand why I joke, so I think sometimes you think I'm serious. But I mean, he's a great mentor. I think slowly my style is looking a little bit like his style. And I mean, I'm proud to call him a friend.
That's great. And last one, November 24th, there's a lot at stake, not just $1 million, but the bragging rights coming back the second time there. Can you just talk a little bit about how these stakes and your preparation has been leading up to it? And are the brand sponsors supporting you throughout this whole thing and helping you get there as well?
Last year, I was really stressed about that. And, like the $1 million, the belt, everything could change my life, And even the week before the final, I was kind of sad, you know, because I was seeing my my old life ending and my new life starting. So it was a weird feeling because, of course, I want to win this, but I was sad that my old life would finish, and that's what happened. You know, I won the $1 million, but not a lot of things changed actually. You know, I didn't really use the money. So I was good with that. Nothing changed. Like I didn't buy crazy stuff. I didn't really care. But the thing is, a lot of sponsors came in. You know, now I'm sponsored by cybersecurity, by a suit company, Operative Gentleman, by a Recap, like an energy drink. So it's really nice. Even like a betting, you know, Bet99 sponsored me too. So it's nice to have a lot of sponsor now, and it's easier to get them now too. So but even that, like, you know, like I have my sponsor on my shirt during the fight, but I have sponsor outside the fight, like the fight. So that's really nice, you know. And
It is.
I think it would not be possible if I was not a champion. And like you said, my life changed, you know. And now you know, I think in the beginning people want to see themselves on TV.
Yes.
And at some point they want to see you represent their company, you know. So they want you on their website, they want you on their social media. So it's nice to see the switch in between company that want to help you and company that want your help.
Yes.
You know. So I feel right now I'm sponsored by company that want my help.
Yes.
And like I'm gonna be always like really humbly humble to the company that helped me before, you know, that they knew that nothing would happen if they sponsor me, but to help me get my dream achieved, you know. So I really respect them, but I'm happy that right now it's the opposite, that I can help those. So,
Thanks, champ. Yeah, and I'll make sure to give them all a shout out too. So yeah, I appreciate it.
Are there any other questions?
Hey, can I get one time for the fun time?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Hi. This is Sadie and this is Mom.
Great. With your championship fight on the horizon, there must be a world of activities happening around you, especially being in Vegas. How do you balance that business aspect of your life with all the sponsorships and media engagements that you're going through with this rigorous training schedule?
To be honest, this is what we signed up for, right? I wanted to be on the big stage, and so I'm not gonna complain whenever PFL asks me to fly across the country to do some media. Like I literally just thought about it this morning that in 10 years, I might be waking up and be like, oh, there's no one that's asking me to fly across the country, right? So embrace it, and that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm having a good time doing it.
Yeah, and last question. Fighters are often exploring business opportunities outside the cage. Have you considered leveraging your growing brand into other business arenas, perhaps even back in Sweden?
Of course. That's something that I definitely want to do. And I was in Senegal actually after the championship last year, and I wanted to start like a non-profit to be able to help. So I have a lot of different things in mind. It's just hard because everyone knows the PFL schedule is unforgiving. So I'm trying to set a couple of things up outside of fighting, obviously, but it will take its time.
Thanks, champ.
Appreciate it.
Man, we cooking with fish grease. Make me look good. Yes, sir.
Let's get it. Get it, bro. Let's go again. What it's got it. Boom, boom. Again.
Are we in the green yellow?
Yes, sir. Everybody.
Hello, hello, hello. Where I make a pool of an ocean over here.
All right, Ryan, you want to go?
Yeah. Hey, Jesse, Ryan Rappaport, Fight Capital. It's an exciting time for you as an up-and-coming fighter heading into the PFL championships. How has your journey within the PFL helped shape your understanding of the business side of the sport?
The business side of the sport, I'd say, thankfully, the PFL, a lot of things are pretty straightforward. It's actually one of the easier routes of taking care of. If anybody doesn't know, on the regional level, you have to cover a lot of the business yourself. But PFL, it's a godsend. Like it's the best organization I've ever been with or even been a part of as far as corner. Like very fluid. Everything's taken care of. Everything good. They take care of their fighters very well. I'm very happy.
Being on the cusp of what could be a major breakthrough for your career, how are you managing sponsorships and media relations? And has that been a challenging aspect as you navigate this new realm here in the PFL?
As much as typical. You try to make your living, especially like a reference back to the regional level, off of sponsorships and ticket sales, in order to survive, because you have to break through that barrier to get to the level that we're at now, where it pays enough for me to sustain a living. Context, I'm 31 years old now, and I'm barely scraping even now. So like anybody get into the fight world, that's what you have to deal with. But that is the part of the game you have to sell. So finding sponsorships is a challenge, but it gets easier with time. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that's great. And last question. There's a lot of discussion around those financial aspects you were just mentioning, especially for those who are just getting into it, making their mark. How do you find the financial landscape for the PFL, and is it a stable platform that the PFL is providing for newcomers?
Very stable. MMA in general isn't quite as caught up as all the other sports, but in time, a lot of people complain, but it is a business. I'll remind any of the fighters, anybody out there, it is a business where you have to provide entertainment to get the funds in, to get the funds to the fighters. So it's a fully engulfing aspect to that. But PFL, like I said, it's always taken care of me. And like I said, as far as finances for myself, I couldn't be happier. Like I'm okay with what I'm getting paid. Very happy.
All right. Thanks, Jesse.